by the end of this video, you will be able to sharpen a knife almost as good enough to be able to shave with. This is my story. I inherited a drawer full of knives, and they're quite nice looking knives. You'll see one in a minute, but they're all blunt. I mean, they're so blunt you could run them up and down your fingers and not do any harm. In fact, it's a game you could play, I don't know. But anyway, so I went out and I bought this from a local shop, and it didn't cost a lot of money, but it's in Greek and I don't know how to use it. So I thought, well, there must be instructions inside. I'll use Google Translate, and you'll see what happens when I open the box. This is literally the first time I've seen this, so I bought it home and I've had it on the shelf, and I thought, right, okay, I want to cut an apple, so I'll use a knife, and well, it bounced off. So I thought, well, okay, it is now time to actually do something with this. See that? Well caught there. Well caught, that man. So this is it. I'm looking for instructions. I'm also showing you the box, but there's nothing in there. Nothing on it. It's all in Greek. It only says knife sharpener, and it says 3 positions, as in, it says right, tungsten to the left, and the 2 on the right hand side are ceramic. But there's no instructions in the box, and I really don't know what to do with it. So I put it on a breadboard, because I figured that if I'm going to be playing with knives, I don't want to be either blunting them on the marble or damaging the marble. So trying to get this out with one hand is not the easiest job in the world, but we all know that, don't we? So there we are. It's rather neat. I think that cost about £3 or €3. And there's the apple that I tried. As you can see, it's still intact. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the knife. This is the knife. It's got a nice blade on it, and I'm quite happily stroking my thumb on it. You can see there it's pretty naff, really. It's blunt. And if I push it on there, you can see it does nothing. It makes, trying to drag it, just the faintest slight amount of drag on there. But look, running the blade on it, it will not cut. Bashing it, see that bounce in there? It will not cut. So it's all rather sort of disappointing, really, as far as knives are concerned. So I've looked up how to do this, and I've tried it, and this is what I'm going to show you how to do. So this makes it nice and easy. You don't need to go anywhere else. Right, the tungsten ones, they work by dragging they actually cut the metal off the blade. So what you have to do is not what I did there, which is what most people do. You actually have to tip the point of the knife downwards. By pointing the tip downwards like that, what you're actually doing is you're causing the wheels, which I'll show you a picture of, to actually cut the edge of the blade, and you're cutting it. So you pull it back 2 or 3 times, and you should feel a drag. There's a reasonable amount of drag. Then what you do is, if you do the same with the ceramics, if you want to, you just do the same thing, and that's nice and simple there. And so what you've got there is you've got a coarse ceramic and a fine ceramic, and you can see there's a slot, and there's the 2 bits bridging the slot. We'll have a look at that from the front edge now. So looking from the front, or the back, whichever way you want to look at it, what you've actually got is you've got 2 discs, and they overlap. And where they overlap, you can see there's that V, and that's where your knife is going to get sharpened. And because they're made of tungsten carbide, they will cut their way through the slightly softer stainless steel. Looking at the real thing now, you can see that there is the 3 slots there, and what we're going to do, I'll use the knife as a pointer, so you can see this is where the tungsten carbide ones are, this is where the ceramic ones are. Now they are at angles similar to the effect of the 2 discs, and they have the similar effect of grinding away the metal. So the discs are very violent in comparison to the ceramics. So you use the discs if you've got a big job to do, you need to get a good bit of metal off, and you use the ceramics for just sort of dressing the blade afterwards. And that's what you see me do on there. Into the carbon wheels we go with the knife at a pointing down angle, so dragging it back there, and you can hear it's making a lovely crunching noise. That proves that it's doing a job. So just 1, 2, 3, 4. Now pull it back with the point up, just to smooth off the blade a bit, and then now we're going on to that's sharp. We're now going to go and have a look and see how that attacks the apple. And you can see here, it's sharp. It's made a little nick in the apple There we go. So that's what that bit's done. Now, be careful with knives. I'm now going to use the ceramic, which is a much finer grain. It's actually going to polish the blade, and I'm doing it straight, not pointing down, because I don't want to cut more off. I just want to polish what's on there. And let's see what effect that has on the apple. It's well, did you see that? It went, look, it went straight in. That is absolutely amazing. And yeah, if I bash it, it will go straight through it. So that's the way it makes a difference, and you can now you can cut your apple happily, just like that. And that's it. That's the thing. It's important. Point down for getting the full cut, and then flat for just easing off the blade, just polishing it up. And now you can have a look at the results. This is the apple that I attacked with a knife before. You've seen me sharpen it, and now you can see it's actually, instead of bouncing off, it's actually moving the apple. It's actually grabbing the apple, which is quite interesting. And you can also see that it's all going to get sort of, look, it's actually cutting into the peel. So you can peel the apple now, whereas before it wouldn't, it just ran up it. It's amazing. Okay, now we wanted to find out how sharp this knife is. I'll show you the blade. You can see it is really looking quite nice. It's a reasonable looking blade. And this is a piece of paper. And what I will show you is this. It cut straight through it. You know those adverts you've seen for these knives and things, and they say, oh, it will cut straight through paper. Well, look, let me just hold that properly. Well, look, here we go, in there, and straight through. It's absolutely amazing. Don't forget, you've seen in real time how long it took me to sharpen that knife. I could do a better job on it, but I was just doing it quickly because I wanted to see what the results were, and well, as you can see, the results are very good. Do want to be careful with this sort of thing though. This is a very sharp knife now. It could be sharper, but it's still sharp enough to do some damage. Please, 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 if you're using a knife sharpener, the knife sharpener itself isn't dangerous, but the knives are. You have to make sure you keep yourself well clear. Do not go chucking them around, and don't ever pull them towards you. You must always make sure, you know, the pointing thing. Yes, you're drawing it towards you, but you mustn't be pointing the blade towards yourself, because that really is not a good idea. Anyway, that's it. I hope you got something out of that. I hope you've learned how to do the knife sharpening bit. I certainly have, and I'm glad to pass it on. If you get anything from this video, please like and subscribe. I do other technical videos, and there's lots of stuff on my channel which you may or may not find interesting. So go and have a look, and if you do, you can click some likes and you can subscribe, and everything will be great. Anyway, I'll see you another time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.